Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be teaching you on how to use CSS or cascading style sheets to style your website. So in the last video I taught you guys how to create your basic website with a title, so with the headers. We made paragraphs, lists, images, and also other links. Now in order to style your website you're going to need to actually create a new CSS file. So we're going to hit new, and then we're going to hit text document. I'm just going to rename it to the same thing as my HTML. And then when you hit save as, change the file extension to .css, just like we did on our last video when we changed it to .html. And you can delete the previous file. So basic CSS syntax involves using your tags. So instead of actually putting it in these signs, you actually just write the name of the tag, and then after that you modify the attributes inside of these curly brackets. Now if I were to do text align, which is one of the attribute editors, basically it can either center it to the left, the center of the page, or the right side of the page. I'm going to choose center because it's the easiest for me. So if I were to come into test and drag that back into my web browser, it's not going to do anything. Now the reason being is because that inside of our HTML document we haven't actually haven't linked it. So in order to do that, we go outside of the body tag and we make the head tag. So the head tag stores all the metadata and other things that basically allow us to link it. So you use the link tag and then you do rel equals style sheet, telling the web browsers, hey, this file is going to be a style sheet, so it's going to be modifying attributes of our website. And then after that we're going to use href and then test.css. So once we save this, we can drag our test back into the file, into the web browser. And as you can see, everything is centered except for this one. Now in order to change this one, you actually have to go back into CSS, and sadly you would have to change every single property. Now because of the way it's set up, certain attributes like the image and also the links cannot be actually modified by text align. So in order to actually change these, you would have to use something called margin. So for instance, I'm just going to use the image tag real quick. And then if you do margin, then you have to list pixel values for the top, the right, the left, the bottom, and the right. So it's basically how many pixels away from each. So for instance, for this I would do 1 pixel away from the top, 1 pixel here, and then I would do around 415 pixels to the right. So if I were to save this, drag this into there. That's odd. Oh yeah, I forgot to list the pixel value. Yeah, so with the syntax it has to be very specific, and so with this you can't forget pixel or anything like that. So you have to write each and everything just as it is usually. So now you have to change all these. So I'm just going to fast forward the video here so that way you guys don't have to watch me write out all of this. Okay, and now our website should look like this. So inside of my CSS file, I just wrote text align center to the header, the paragraph, and then I added margins to my list. Now I'm just going to modify this value so that way it looks a bit nicer on the screen. So I'm just going to hit test, put it into my web browser. That's not changing much. So now if I come maybe 515, drag it in here. Every once in a while it gets a bit closer and a bit closer some more. So as you can see, CSS is just all about making slight adjustments so that way your website just looks a lot better. Now, for instance, let's say, hey, I wanted color instead of just this white background. Well, if you're going to choose colors, then I would come to this website, htmlcolorcodes.com/color-picker, and then I would just go through here and pick a color that you'd like. So I'm just going to choose a light brown. Now I'm going to copy the hexadecimal value, and then inside of here I'm just going to do, sorry, not inside of image, you'd have to make a new tag for body. And then in here just do background and then the hexadecimal value. And so then if you were to write your test, then the whole entire background is now that color. Now, if you want to add a border to your image, for instance, then you would come over to your image, you would do border, and then after that you would do solid, let's see here, the amount of pixels wide that you want your border to be. And then I'm just going to do another hexadecimal value, so I'm just going to do completely black. So copy, come over here, paste, and then once I put my test back, it has its border. So that's just about all I'm going to be showing you today about CSS. Sure, it's not much, but except that if you have any other questions, tell me in the comment section below, and if you could consider subscribing, that would be great. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.